Are you tired of scrolling through the never-ending pile of games coming to Steam? Every Wednesday, I will dig through the pile, watch all the showcases, and read all of the press releases in search of a handful of games that you need to add to your wish list. So if you want to keep an eye on this list, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. With everything out of the way, here's a handful of games that you need to add to your wish list for Wednesday, June 11th. Dispatch. Dispatch is being developed and published by Ad Hoc Studio, a studio that was founded in 2018 from many of the talented people behind The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, and Tales from the Borderlands, including creative directors and writing directors who banded together shortly after Telltale Games filed for bankruptcy and laid off 90% of its employees. In addition to being smart with the size of the studio, which is only around 40 people compared to the 250 that Telltale had at their largest point, Dispatch is also an original IP, and this means that the studio can save loads of money not having to pay licensing fees, and instead can invest those into other areas of Dispatch that would be more effective. In Dispatch, you play as Mecha Man, a superhero who has lost his suit, which was destroyed in a battle with his nemesis. Powerless, Mecha Man must now work at the superhero call center and dispatch superheroes across the city where they are needed. In Dispatch, you will need to juggle office relationships, life or death decisions in the field, and rebuilding your mech suit to get revenge. Not only do the visuals look like a high-profile, high-budget animated series from something like Netflix or Disney+, but the story sounds very engaging, and best of all, the performances are anchored by a stacked voice cast, which is likely due to having resources that weren't used up with licensing fees. Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, Jeffrey Wright from American Fiction, and Laura Bailey from The Last of Us 2 are just a few of the names that will be giving these superheroes personality. Dispatch was also named as one of the official selections for the Tribeca Festival, which do have a pretty keen eye for spotting great games. 2024 selections included games like Neva, Thank Goodness You're Here, and Blueprints. The Seance of Blake Manor. Hot off the heels of publishing Blueprints, one of the best games of 2025 and arguably one of the best puzzle games of all time, Raw Fury is back with the Seance of Blake Manor. In the Seance of Blake Manor, you play as a supernatural detective from Ireland. The year is 1897 and your services have been requested at a remote hotel known as Blake Manor. One of the guests has disappeared and the hotel is on lockdown with 2 residents, 5 staff, and 17 guests. Every single one of them is a suspect, and you will need to talk with all of them, eavesdrop, and scour Blake Manor for all the clues that you can find before it's too late, because in 48 hours, there will be a seance to open a portal between the land of the living and the land of the dead. Time plays a very important role because you will need to be in the right place at the right time based on the clues that you have uncovered during your investigation if you want to get to the bottom of this mess and have a chance at saving the woman who disappeared before it's too late. To increase immersion, the Seance of Blake Manor features engaging cutscenes and a soundtrack that reacts to the environment around you. The Seance of Blake Manor is being developed by Spooky Doorway, the 12-person indie team behind the 2017 award-winning and critically acclaimed title, The Dark Side Detective. Coverage might be minimal on the Seance of Blake Manor, but based on what has been shown so far, as well as the pedigree of Spooky Doorway and Raw Fury, there is enough to warrant a wish list. The elevator pitch for Sword of the Sea is that it's Journey, but you surf on your blade board. This isn't a lazy comparison because the lineage is easily traceable from that game company to Giant Squid Games, as many of the senior members left to begin their own studio. Giant Squid is clearly great at one thing, and instead of reinventing the wheel, the studio continues to evolve and hone what it does best, which is atmospheric adventure games. After founding Giant Squid, the company released Abzu in 2016 and The Pathless in 2021. In Sword of the Sea, the atmospheric adventure has you exploring the remnants of an ancient culture as you try to restore the ocean beneath the desert. The studio is trying to emulate that outer body spiritual experience that you get when you're fully connected with the world, as you are able to see it at speeds and heights that aren't traditional. Giant Squid is trying to capture that transcendent experience that you get when you're able to fully harmonize with the environment. In the words of the studio director, you get to understand nature that you normally wouldn't be able to otherwise and connect with the world in a deeper way. Sword of the Sea is heavily inspired by the skateboard and snowboard classics like Tony Hawk, 1080, and SSX. Just like Giant Squid's previous titles, the score is being composed by Austin Wintory, who's become infamous for his scores on games like Journey, Absu, The Pathless, as well as higher profile games like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Sword of the Sea follows in the studio's history with its very unique art style that immediately captures your attention with otherworldly vistas and bold contrasting colors. The end goal for the studio is to have all of the elements in place to try to create a spiritual experience for the player. It also just got a release date of August 19th at Summer Game Fest. If you made it this far in the video, let me know in the comments which games you're going to be adding to your wish list and consider subscribing. Video games is a positivity-first gaming outlet. We believe that gaming should be a force for good. We focus on making uplifting content with constructive discussions and celebrating what makes games great. That's all for today, but until next time, be good to your fellow gamer, but more importantly, be better to your fellow human.